changes. All in favor of passing the agenda as it stands, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The agenda passes. We're going to start with a report by Leah.
Not much new to report. I actually received an up-to-date budget from the business office to kind of help O'Neill get an actual start for the summer where we're at with the money that's left over. And I will actually from now on be receiving a monthly budget from the budget office, so that way our numbers are going to be actual. There isn't going to be any second guessing, as well as just always making sure that everything that is submitted goes through in a timely fashion. Just because there, in the last couple of years, there's been a lot of discrepancy as to what's on the SA drive on our budget sheet and the actual numbers with the business office. So, oh, and just the, I know Hannah sent out an email last week, just kind of reiterating the importance of the housing policy. So if anyone has any questions, concerns, issues that they want to discuss with the dean, please feel free to stop by.
Does anybody have any questions for Leah? All right. Oh, sorry.
This might be to both of you, actually. I got that email and I was kind of perplexed. Is there a specific violation that's going on, or is that just being in line with policy, or?
Yes. Technology has changed where it's not, it is a requirement that students live on campus unless they are living at home with parents. They have reached the age, which I think is 22, and there's one other.
For seniors?
Senior status, thank you. So as representatives of the university, they really just want all senators or staff members of student association to adhere to that policy.
Any other questions for Leah? Okay, I'll give a report now. I'd like to pass around this sheet for threshold. This seniors notwithstanding. Everyone else, I would really like if you could come early, if you could plan on coming early for threshold. I'm working with Trisha, our new social events director, and Adrian to really put out some clear roles for you guys to play during threshold. I know in years past, if senators have been here, it's kind of like, oh, just show up when you want to, do what you want, smile and tell people about student association. But I think it's a really great opportunity for us to make connections with freshmen and to really start the year off strong. So I would encourage all of you to attend, but I understand sometimes things come up and you're not able to. So I'm just going to pass this around. If you think that you'd be able to be here early for threshold, which is I think it's 3 or 4 days before school starts, August 20, I don't remember, 19th? Possibly August 19th. So yeah, if you could just jot your name down here. You're not signing any kind of contract. I'm not going to come after if you put your name down on here, but I just want to know so I can be in touch with you guys. Go ahead.
If that be the case, is it possible that we can arrange something with housing so that we can keep our closing?
That's a really good question. Leah, do you have any comments about that?
Usually a list is submitted to housing of students that we're requesting to be allowed to move in early. As long as you have specific roles that you're going to be fulfilling during threshold, it's usually not an issue. They just need to get that list as early on as possible so that they can make arrangements for check-in.
Yeah. So if you put your name down on here and we solidify with you that you're definitely coming, we'll just get you guys in housing. Okay. So pass that around. Also, I'd like to mention, those of you who have been senators in the past, we've kind of done this thing where during the summertime, SA people, staff people, and senators are able to use the storage space in the basement of Berg. We have a conference room for storage space during the summertime, so your televisions and refrigerators and assorted lofts and bunk beds. This year though, because of the renovations in Berg, I guess we're not actually even going to be able to use that conference space. space. That conference room is not going to be ours anymore. They're going to be putting like some kind of water pump in there or something like that. But we still have the SA office, like the offices for the executive committee members, and we won't be able to use those during the summer, but so we can use them for storage, is what I'm getting at. So if you guys need storage space for the summertime, you come and like contact me or Adrian, and we'll like open up the office. You guys can put stuff down there. The thing is, it needs to be in there by May 10th because that's when Berg is closing and nobody can get in Berg after May 10th. So if you want your stuff stored for the summer, let us know. And it's a good place. It's cheap, obviously free. So yeah. We have a couple people to confirm today, so we're going to go into closed session to do those at the end. And also at we have a piece of legislation here about giving the extra money left over at the end of the year into the executive committee so we can kind of decide what to do with it, which is common practice, is what's been done in the past. But I'd really like you guys to consider what you would like to see done with that money. Usually it's a good chunk of money at the end of the year. I think last year it was like, I threw out there $30,000, which was a lot of money for Josh to decide what to do with. So I'd like to really solicit your opinions. I'm going to send out an email about this after the meeting, but I'm going to ask if you're interested to type up like just a short proposal for me and Adrian. Let us know what you're thinking, what you'd like us to do with that money. And once the money gets dispersed over the summer, Adrian and I will let you guys know how that goes. But we can talk more about that when that specific piece of legislation comes up if you're interested. All right, that's all I have. Does anybody have any questions for me? No. Okay. Adrian?
Same thing, nothing new as the year sitting in. Signing myself, just got back from the ASGA conference this weekend, which we learned a lot. It was like an information overload. We learned so much about student government, things that we never thought about. Connected with a lot of different schools. Heard about how they run their student government. So some of the things that we learned, we're going to try to implement into student government next year. Trying to set up some things and programs that's going to last for years. Other than that, no big projects. We're just trying to wrap up the end of the year. Like you said about the money left over in the budget. You guys pass a proposal to XCOM. We'll decide what happens with it. We want to know what you guys think should be done with the money as well. And just a lot of preparation for summer with threshold and all that type of stuff. But other than that, that's pretty much it. Everything seems to be coming along good with Java, yearbook, and a paper. So everybody's moving into their new positions, getting trained. So hopefully we can start the year off good next year and all. So that's all.
Does anyone have any questions for Adrian? Okay. Before we move into new business, I'd like to recognize our visitors here today. Welcome. Just so you know, we run our meetings by parliamentary procedure. So at any point during the next 45 minutes, you have a question or a comment about what we're discussing here in this circle, just ask that you'd raise your hand. Your opinion is important to us, so we want to hear from you. So please just raise your hand, and one of the senators, or I'll just recognize you. Like, oh, Jill, please talk to us. What would you like to say? So, so that's how the parliamentary procedure goes. If you're here for a piece of legislation, if you're called on to give the opening comment, please stand up and let us keep it short and sweet and tell us why you think that we should pass it. So, and we're going to have a closed session at the end of the meeting in which we'll ask all of you guys to exit the room because it's a secret discussion time. Okay, great. So welcome visitors. Thank you for coming. Okay, let's move into new business. Legislation 8. Read by, how about Sam? Can you read that for us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Whereas the Student Association of North Park exists to enhance educational environment and diversity, and whereas the Business Club exists to create an environment where the North Park students, faculty, staff, and successful business professionals can create and learn from each other, and whereas the Business Club seeks to provide its members with meetings, seminars, social events, and visits to business and institutions, and whereas the Business Club has been inactive this semester due to high attendance and associated costs with last year's Tom Bagley lecture, and remains insufficient funds to complete its yearly activities, and whereas the Business Club would like to recognize its accomplishments of its seniors, founding members, and faculty advisors.